Hey, it's Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. And if this is your first time joining us, we are a sound company and dealer for about 45 different pro audio, lighting, staging, trussing, wireless microphones, wired microphones, all of the above. So if you're in need, give us a shout out, info@trinityprosound.com. We can get you great pricing and share with you the various lines that we sell on a regular basis. So this video is going to be a review of the FBT CANTO 8CA. So this is a two-way speaker, powered, and it is a coaxial design, as we will get into it here. But we do take it apart videos on speakers and show you what you're purchasing as far as construction quality, driver quality. We can take a look at some of the SPL readings that we can get with our microphone at a meter distance here in front of the cameras. And then we can also do sweeps on it and show you kind of what anticipated frequency response is going to be. And then we can talk about what it's going to throw. That's all based on physics and I believe it's the inverse square law, that every time we've got a reading and we double that distance, we lose 6 dB of power. So you can kind of estimate out that if this is a 100 dB speaker, that if that reading is taken at, which this one, let's see here if they've got a reading on it, 120 to 125 dB, so continuous is 120. So let's say we've got that at a meter out in front of the box, which is most of this is taken at. So if we're looking at 120 dB, so let's say a meter is 3 feet. The minute we go to 6 feet, we are going to lose another 6 dB. We go to 12 feet, we're going to lose another 6 dB. We go to 24 feet, we're going to lose another 6 dB. So you can start doing the extrapolation to see what kind of coverage you're going to get. That's why line array boxes are built with extreme SPL capabilities. Our TurboSound Manchester boxes have, I believe, a max SPL of 140 something dB. So once you get a line of those coupled, now you're pumping out 150, 155 dB in a line of, 8 or 10 of those things. You can see how far that is going to go. Not necessarily you're going to get that kind of coverage with a smaller speaker or a trap box, so to speak, or a conventional two-way speaker. So anyway, with that said, the CANTO 8CA, it is a injection type construction cabinet. So let's go ahead and get into what the main applications are. FBT is stating we can do small theaters and auditoriums, piano bar or DJ, a stage monitor because it's got cuts on it for wedging to put it down on the floor, conference rooms, fixed insulation in live clubs, and gymnasiums, just to name a few. Main features, it's two-way coaxial, 200 watts to the low frequency, 100 watts to the high frequency, max RMS. The 8-inch low frequency woofer with a 2-inch voice coil. High frequency driver, 1.4-inch voice coil. It has 4 DSP presets on it. Input connectors with an XLR loop. It is gas injected polypropylene enclosure. Speaker wall ceiling mount stands, optional, and let's see, there is no pulse, we already pulled the grill, no pole socket on it, so you've got to get a special mount to put it on a stand or mount it. 1 1/4-inch top hat stand socket, I think is optional. No, in fact, it is back there. I just didn't reach far enough back. So it does have a standard speaker socket on it. Universal mains voltage, 100 to 240 volts, and it is available in black and white. The 8CA is in the CANTO range, excuse me, and I believe they've got larger, smaller of these particular powered speakers. We'll put that down here as far as part numbers. But we've already gone ahead and popped out the grill a little bit. But let's go ahead and turn this around And we can take a look at the rear of it here, that we've got AC input, we've got a fuse here, power switch, input with a feed through, standby light, high pass filter on and off, level control. It does have line or mic sensitivity inputs, and it has 4 presets, which with this light will change colors when you hit that preset. So blue is what they call original, violet is a monitor configuration, yellow is vocal, and green is a bass boost. So that is all the features. We'll end up taking a listen to those with the Zoom recorder as well. But we ended up hooking this thing up, playing with it a little bit. And when we had the SUBLINE 1112 SA in here, we hooked it up with that. And goodness, for the output that this thing has, plus that sub with our 4,200 square feet, if we would have had one of those per side, we could have done small band, wedding, I mean, you name it, it filled the space. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. What we're gonna do is plop open the grill here. They do have a nylon mesh that is kind of stickied in there, that when this whole thing went together, I didn't want to pull out the bottom one down here, but you can see the construction. We've got a port here and a port here for the low end. Let's come around front. 8-inch speaker, you can kind of see this is acoustically transparent, little grill in here. And so they've got some goop here that holds the speaker on. It just kind of pries out, which I kind of figured since there were no attachment screw points. So the front of this guy screws in here, 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 and here. We're just going to go ahead and pull the driver out and take a look at that. And then we'll also pull the amplifier out and take a peek at that as well. So being it is a injection cabinet, they just got regular, what look like wood screws with a little cap head on them all the way around. And one more, and we are going to be out. And there we go. So, we'll go ahead and get these leads pulled now and take a look at this puppy. So it is a FBT driver. It is a cast basket, believe it or not, for this small speaker. So there's the 8-inch. You can kind of see down through the screen on there into the high frequency driver. Backside, high frequency driver. This is a ceramic or ferrite magnet and cast construction. Typical paper surround on this puppy, and we do have a little bit of a gasket seal for the back of it, so that when it goes back in, it seals it up and provides a quote-unquote airtight kind of connection on it. But that's really the weight of the entire cabinet. Once that's out, we're maybe 5 pounds on that. The amplifier module is quite, let's see, we're just going to go ahead and pull this off because we'll be able to get that back on. So the amplifier module, let's go ahead and take a look inside here. That there's the amp module inside the speaker. And then the speaker wires are dangling there inside. But all exposed. Get my right from my left and left from my right. But, you know, 300 watts RMS. So, you know, it doesn't need a ton of cooling, and it is open so that the cabinet and the cavity can help with that. Getting air circulated around it. And 2 more screws to go. And there it comes. Pretty slick. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this. There we go. So coils on the power side, amplifier, DSP board is buried underneath there on the back of this foam that kind of isolates and separates. Ribbon cable connected into the main board. The power transistors, this whole thing is a heat sink, as you can kind of see right here, so that it is separated from the circuit board, but that thing is providing a major heat sink for the power transistors for the power amplifiers on this puppy. But, you know, a lot of surface mount technology on it. As far as the settings and everything on it, there we go. So you can see we've got the presets and the sensitivity. There is the line mic, there is the high pass filter, the XLRs in and out, pinning configurations, power, fuse is in the middle there between the power socket, the IEC power socket, and the power switch, and made in Italy by FBT. But not much to it, but the output out of this thing, you would think, well, that's not much, but this thing really kicks butt for a small little speaker. Very impressed with it. So, gosh, with that said, you know, the construction of it with this amplifier out, we do have some little bit of acoustical dampening in there with the egg crate. I don't know if we can kind of see that, bad light, but there is some egg crate material in there to help with cabinet resonance. But as far as weight, I mean, I can't really, I mean, the power amplifier on this thing is so light that you really can't tell that the power amplifier has been pulled out. But remarkable little speaker for the price point, which we'll put down in here somewhere with MAP and MSRP. But they've done a very nice job in packaging this thing. We'll show you the wedge cut on it here once that I get this puppy back together. And I think for our testing purposes, we're going to go ahead and leave the grill off so we can see kind of what the cone is doing. We did just update. our version of Studio 6 Digital, and they've come out with a new module for testing subwoofers and response. And when a subwoofer will be distorting, so you kind of know your max levels that'll come out of that before the subwoofer distorts. So unfortunately, we've already done some subwoofer videos that we didn't have that for, but from here on out, we are going to be using that particular module to do the sweeps on subs. So 6 screws, the whole thing's back together. We'll go ahead and get the speaker connected again. They made it pretty, well, no, those are all the same size. I was going to say they put different spade lug sizes on the woofer, but they did on the cable, but not on the speaker itself. Okay, so plus and minus on the 8-inch woofer portion. We'll go ahead and stand this back up. Those are the same size of lugs for the high frequency driver. Let's take a look at our picture. Blue goes by the minus tag, which is really plus because it's painted red. You just can't see it. And negative goes to the obvious. I do like it when we're reviewing speakers that are this small and this light, that it's kind of nice not having to bust your cookies, so to speak. Getting drivers in and out and lifting the cabinets, and I mean, how many would agree with me that everything in Pro Audio is just heavy? Subwoofers are heavy. Major power cables are heavy. Fly frames, some of the fly frames are insanely heavy. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and leave the grill off since this puppy just pushes back on. Kind of show, whoops, get back here, kind of show you that. And let you see. And then they've got this, the same kind of nylon mesh on the inside of this that they do with some of their other speakers to keep dirt and bugs and even moisture out. It's a little bit thick, like a multi-layered. So, but the grill's pretty good. Probably 16 gauge. I don't think it's 18 gauge. That'd be a little bit too small. But anyway, good construction for the price point of this puppy. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and get our audio tools set up. Microphone will be set up. We'll do some sweeps. For music and everything, we will have the Zoom recorder on. We'll do some of our standard YouTube stuff, and then we'll switch over and go into some known stuff that we'll play through it. That'll be a link in the description, and that will be in our Dropbox that you can put some headphones on and kind of listen to that as well to get a better feel, hearing-wise, of what this little Canto 8CA really sounds like. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get things going. Before we do, though, I wanted to continue, which we kind of failed to do, going into the specs on this thing. Acoustic specifications, 50 to 20K, max SPL, continuous and peak, 120, 125. Dispersion, horizontal and vertical, is 80 degrees conical because they're using a coaxial driver. As we stated, inputs and outputs, XLRs with loops. Amplifier, 200 and 100 watts RMS. Input impedance is 22K ohms. IEC power connector, 150 watts of power requirements, and power cord that comes with it's 16 feet long. Material is gas-injected polypropylene. Dimensions are about 9.5 by 16.5 by, again, 9.5. Weight, almost 14 pounds out of the box. So, and it does have a wall bracket you can order with it, the M20 adjustable sub support, or you can use just a regular speaker stand out of those as well. So anyway, that's the specs. And what we're going to do is go ahead and get things hooked up and start running some sound through this puppy. We are on 0 as far as a reference. We are on line. The high pass filter is not on. And when we turn this puppy on, the preset we are on is blue, which is original. All right, so what we're going to do is we are seeing readings. So we are probably 6 feet away. I'm going to lower the microphone down so that we are right on axis with the driver. And just as far as the readings are concerned, just remember that we're about 6 feet away instead of a meter, which is about 39 inches. So let's go ahead and get noise generator up. I'm going to turn it down. Pink noise. Oh, much better. We'll get it up right to where we are about 100 dB and take a look at the response. All right, here we go. So with that said, and what they have published the specs to, gosh, it's get on camera here so we can talk. So down here it said 50, so we are down at 50 and it's producing pretty good. But if you look, we are fairly flat with doing the noise through here all the way up to the 20K range. And you can see that in the spectrograph as we're generating, you can see what we're doing all the way through, that we don't have, other than the low end, a little tiny bit of red showing up, but a little tiny bit of red down here. And gosh, it is fairly uniform through the entire spectrum, as they have stated. So I don't see a whole lot of excursion going on with the up to 115, and you can see on this camera of what the cone is doing on that 8-inch driver. So I mean, we're very, very close to the max SPL. And again, yes, that was very, very loud. Let's go ahead and we're going to do some sweeps on it now. Get the volume down. You can see it coming in at 50. But you can see the microphone's picking it up all the way to 20. And as far as the sweeps, fairly uniform as far as, if we watch the top line on the sweep, fairly uniform as far as dB level across the band. So that's about 85 what we're pushing. Let's do that again. One more time. That's pretty loud. But doing what the speaker on paper says that it is capable of doing. Next thing now, what we're going to do is run some music through it. So I think that's pretty impressive in itself. And the flatness of it as far as the dB levels through that entire band all the way up as well. And you're not going to get a ton of low end out of this, and that's why they've got the high pass filter on it. Be great for, boardrooms, conference rooms, breakout rooms, that kind of thing, small bars and clubs. Coupled with the subwoofer, you're going to need a sub unless you're just doing something acoustic or vocal out of your mixer, and then the thing right out of the box is going to sound stinking great. So with that said, let's go ahead and get some music popped into this thing and take a listen, and we'll get the Zoom recorder turned on, and here we are. Okay, that took a little bit of doing to get the Zoom drive configured and up and running, but hey, we're ready. So we've got spectrograph going, got SPL graph going. We'll get rid of that little guy there since we don't need that. Showing SPL and frequency that it's seeing that max SPL at. And what we're going to do is run the YouTube music through it first. And this is on the original preset with a little blue light, no high pass filter. So let's go ahead and get that going. High pass filter going in. So now we're going to go ahead and set it on monitor mode. That turned it violet. And here we go. Should take away a little bit of the low end. So now we're going to set it into vocal mode, which is yellow, and that is going to taper it more for speech. Reduced spectrum. You can tell it's already taken the low end down. And now the last preset is boost. So that's going to give us low frequency boost. And that was back to original. So we're not seeing a whole lot of cone excursion on it, even in the boost mode, even though you can hear it. We were up at about 105 dB. I'm going to push it a little bit in the original mode and kind of see what we can get out of it without killing it. So that's the YouTube portion of things, and join us over on our Dropbox link down below that you can put on some headphones. We got the Zoom recorder sampling at a pretty high bit rate and running everything through the Studio Master. This is their, what is this? Digitrack 18. So nice little mixture. We're going to do a, as I said in the prior video, we're going to do a video on this little puppy as well. So anyway, let's pop over and take a listen to known tracks, and then we'll come back and close out this video on the FBT CANTO 8CA. Here we are. Welcome back to YouTube. So thanks for popping over onto the Dropbox link and taking a listen over there and seeing what this little speaker can do, but pretty impressive. pretty impressive. So with that said, FBT CANTO 8CA, we'll put some other model numbers down here that they have in this particular lineup, and then we'll also put the, over here, the MSRP and map prices of this as of the recording date of this video for this speaker. But goodness, you know, coupled with a sub for a small setup, as they have, you know, stated in their paperwork, you know, as far as what the intended use would be. This thing has just got extremely good output out of the thing because of the wedge cut on this thing and the coaxial driver. This one would be great for a small little stage monitor, believe it or not. So it does have little feet on the bottom, pole socket there on the bottom as well. But gosh, I can't say enough about it. One of the things we did notice, though, as we're playing it, I had my hands on the side of it, and there is a little bit of cabinet resonance out of the thing, but it would be expected with a, you know, an injection molded enclosure. That's just kind of the nature of the beast, so to speak, and keeps the weight down, keeps the price down, and gives you something in a small package that has got quite a bit of get up and go and output, and sounds really good. You know, they've done a great job with the coaxial driver on this thing. Kudos to them. And that's one of the ways that they've been able to keep the footprint of this thing fairly small as well. So thank you again for watching. Email us. If you have any questions, email us, info@trinityprosound.com. If you're in the Springfield area, Missouri, give us a buzz. We've got some demo stuff here. We'd certainly like to be able to share with you, show you. If you're in the area at all, stop by, say hi. You can also reach out to us and call us, area code 209-832-8023. And then check us out on the website, trinityprosound.com. Got a little bit of history of who we are, what we do. I think we've got some stuff on there for some of the major lines that we carry as well. And love to help you on your next audio project. We've got a couple of churches that we're helping out right now with new mixer boards and speakers and all sorts of fun stuff. So again, thank you for watching. It is Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com.